What is going on? My name is Dave. Just want to introduce myself since I am starting up this YouTube channel. 37 years old and decided to get into collecting baseball cards again. I resell used items, electronics, things like that on eBay. I'm driving too. I'm going to do most of my videos driving because it's a little embarrassing doing it at home. My wife would think that I am into what my little girls are into, which is making makeup tutorials. So I'm going to stick to here. So anyway, I'm going to fix myself so I look nice and pretty. Anyway, resell a ton of stuff on eBay, and tired of, especially with electronics, you have to test everything, make sure everything works. If one thing doesn't work and you missed it, the returns or the refunds, it's just a pain in the ass. So I follow a guy, Gary Vaynerchuk. He's a big media guy, and I was tweeting, and a guy said, "Hey, I make money flipping baseball cards, you should do that." And I said, "I would love to. It's very different from when I collected back in the 90s. And guy hit me up with a really, really, really long direct message, and we were going back and forth, and basically schooled me on all the new cards that are coming out now. It is completely different. And so I started this. When did I start? Probably 4 or 5 months into it. And when I do stuff, I immerse myself into it. So I watch a lot of YouTube. I read a lot of articles. I buy a lot of stuff for no apparent reason. I just buy stuff because that's what I do. And waste money, really, is what I do. So I still had a ton of questions, and even though the guy told me a lot of things, there's still more stuff to learn. And this is why this channel was created. So people like myself, people in the mid-30s can learn. If they want to get into collecting baseball cards from the 80s when they were collecting, and even back in the 50s and 60s when, at the time when I was a kid collecting the vintage stuff, I couldn't afford it. And I wish I could have, because it really is, it boomed. The money, how much things are going for are really expensive now, and ridiculously expensive. But also, in the same token, the new cards exploded in price as well. The 80s and 90s cards that we collected, that your parents said, "Hey, keep them, because don't make the same mistake I did in the 50s and 60s and not keep them in good shape." Well, I kept them in good shape. Not good enough, to be honest with you. And I was actually looking at some of my old cards thinking that I can get them graded. No, not good. But we'll talk about grading in another episode. Not that it's this crazy, convoluted thing. But so, 80s and 90s cards pretty much are worthless. The older cards that you kept, that you have, garbage. Very few cards are worth money, and if they are worth money, they have to be in the best condition for them to be worth any big time money. I'm talking about $200 to $400. I mean, you still have your Ken Griffey Juniors and things like that. Like the 89 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. is still worth a lot of money, but it's got to be graded at a 10. You go down to a PSA 9, and it'll be like a quarter of the PSA 10. So it'll be $400 for a PSA 10. It'll be less than $100 for a PSA 9. That's the difference. So now, if you compare it to now, the cards, back in the day, get a box of cards, you open it up, you were looking for your team, looking for a good player, a good hot rookie that you wanted. That was it. There's no inserts, there's no autos, there's no relics where they have, a piece of the uniform on, or a piece of the bat, or a piece of the cleat some cards have. None of that shit. All it was the baseball card. And maybe you get screwed with a checklist. That is not the case now. And actually, now even autographs and the relics are sort of no big deal anymore because there's so many of them. There's only Topps now. And you have Panini, which is weird because Panini, when I was growing up, was the weird company that no one bought anything from. Now I guess they're done Russ, I believe. Topps has an exclusive where basically they can show the logo on their cards and no one else can for baseball. So Panini came out with their own cards. They don't have the logos on them, but they made the cards, to be honest with you, look really nice. So they look really cool, but you don't have that logo. So everyone, some people like it, some people don't. They have more autos, more inserts. So it just all depends on what you like to collect. But the higher priced items are still going to go to Topps and Bauman. Bauman is still around, and they are, if you're looking for the number, like a first card of a rookie, like for example, you have a big name guy that everyone knows, Mike Trout. 2011 Topps Update is his card that everybody loves. It's $500. It's $250, $300, even if it's not graded. Very expensive card. His first card, though, is a Bauman Chrome card. Those don't go for as much. For some reason, I think that update, that's a horrifically bad example. So maybe I shouldn't do that. Miguel Andujar. Miguel Andujar, almost Rookie of the Year for the Yankees. His first Bauman card, though, was in 2013. So it's almost 5 years later, and his rookie card is now coming out for Topps, but his Bauman first card is in 2013. So all those cards are worth a lot of money because they're the first. So people go insane with buying Bauman Chrome, and then Bauman Draft. Bauman Draft is, the guy was drafted this year. They literally made cards for them. They may suck, they may never amount to anything, but there's a card with an auto there for them. Let me give you how crazy it is. The hot guy is this guy Gorman from St. Louis. I will get into other stuff, but they basically, they now make a card that's one of one. They only made one card of this, and that's it. And it has his autograph on it. That card went for $15,000. It's a brand new card. He may never play in the majors. He may suck forever. But his card just went for $15,000. That's how insane the prices have now gotten. Buy a box of cards to try to get him $180 to try to get that. That you get 3 autos in a box. People go crazy over these things. I'm just learning about it now, so I bought 5 boxes of it. I opened up 2. I have 3 that I'm going to hold. I may open up 1 more because I said I was going to only hold 2. I don't know. I sometimes get the itch. But compare that to when we were collecting a 1989, a box of 89 Dunruss, you can now pick up for $10. Has 36 packs. How many? God knows how many. I was about to burp on video. That would have been nice, but no inserts, no autos, no anything. And now, I'm talking about now, you're just looking for 1 card. Griffey Jr., May, and Randy Johnson. If you get them graded, PSA 10, only 10. They go for, well, the Griffey goes for $250. The Randy Johnson goes for like $50. That's it. Every other card you can just throw in the garbage. Which is insane. Smoltz, you have Smoltz and Biggio, but even them, they're not worth anything. If you're looking to do this to make money. If not, if you're just looking to collect, you can buy some 80s cards real cheap now on eBay. You can go to card shops because that's the only place you can find cards now. You can't go really grocery store. You can go to Walmart and Target and get them, but not the old cards. The old cards, you got to go to a baseball card shop, and mostly everything's done through eBay. Starting to filter in Facebook Marketplace. But there is, and the amount of cards that come out. When we were around, we had Score, Dunruss, Fleer, Topps, Bauman, and I think Topps and Bauman were the same company at that time as well. I forget, I'm not too sure. That guy was not beeping at me, he was beeping at someone else. And then each of them had their own product lines of 2 or 3 or whatever. Now it's just Topps, but Topps and Bauman, which is the same company, and then you have Donruss, Panini, and they all have, I think Topps has like 10 different stuff that they have. I mean, they even have like boxes that are $1,000, and it's just one pack, and it's all just autographs and relics. Same thing with Panini; they have one too. I think it's called National Treasures. But I'll get into specific stuff and different things like that. But it is vastly different from when you used to collect back in the 80s. I think I've said that 10 times so far on this video because I'm running out of things to say. Vintage market is insanely expensive now. If you're a collector, I think that's the best investment, is buying vintage, because no matter what, those cards in the 50s and the 60s, those cards, I don't see them ever going down in value. They had a big, especially a Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantles were always expensive, but not to this level where I think a 52 Mantle, his rookie card, is now worth more than a Honus Wagner, where that was never the case. Honus Wagner was always the card to get, and it still is, but the 52 Mantle rivals it in price now. And I don't know why, because there's more of them than there are of the Honus Wagner, but it is what it is. So I am trying to collect the 55 Topps. I may stop because it's getting really expensive. I saw there was good value there, and I was trying to take advantage of it. It seems that people have been starting to jump on and starting to find that out. So I will dive into more stuff. I just wanted to say hello, comment to the 2 people or 1 person, probably just me watching it again. Let me know what you guys want to talk about, what you want to learn, and I'll make a video about it. Talk to you guys.